Hello again. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you some vocabulary and a few useful words to make our first sentences. Let's first learn the word orada. Orada means there. Orada. Usually we don't pronounce this one and say orada. Orada is there. And burada is here. Orada and burada. Again, you can omit this one, we usually do, and say burada. Orada and burada. There and here. Now let's learn some words. For example, ev. Ev is a very short, very easy word, and it means house or home. Remember, in Turkish, I mentioned it a few times. We didn't actually study it, but we don't really say is. Okay, it is. We don't say that. We don't say they are either. So third person doesn't exist. The verb to be for third person doesn't exist. So if you want to say the house is there, in Turkish you just say this. Ev orada. The house is there. As you see, we don't have the either. So let me put it here as well. We don't have the. Ev orada. And let's learn this word as well. Araba. Araba means car. Let's try to say the car is here. Can you guess? It's araba burada. Araba burada. Or burada if you want. Ev orada, araba burada. We can now learn a conjunction. I'm going to write it here. Ama. Ama means but. It looks a bit like the Greek and the Italian ma. So if you know those languages, they could be useful. Ama means but. So now we can say the house is here, but the car is there. I'm also reversing these. The house is here. Ev burada. But usually we put a semicolon. Ama araba, the car is there. Orada. Ev burada ama araba orada. Or ev burada ama araba orada. Let's learn another conjunction. Ve. Ve it means and. So now we can say, let's learn one more word though. This one will be difficult, maybe because two diacritics. This one is mute, if you remember, because it's between two vowels. So we just skip this one, and this one was ch. So ağaç. Ağaç means a tree. Now let's try to say the house and the tree are here, but the car is there. Now the house is ev and ve. It's reversed actually, coincidentally. Ev ve ağaç are, we don't say this is third person, It's is or are, doesn't matter. Third person singular, plural, we don't have that. Ev ve ağaç here, burada. But, ama, araba, the car is there. We don't have is. Araba orada. Ev ve ağaç burada ama araba orada. It's sort of simpler than in English. We don't have the, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, this and this. So it's 1, 2, 5 words fewer. It won't always be the case though. Usually English is shorter than Turkish. Now let's sum up the words that we learned. We have ev, which is house, and then we have araba, which is a car, and then we have ağaç, which is a tree, and then we learned 2 conjunctions, ama, which is but, and ve, which is and. As you know, we don't have is or are in Turkish for third person. We don't use anything. And also we learned how to say here, which is burada or burada if you want. And orada, which is there. So if you want to say the house is there, we don't have the either. We don't have this either. So ev burada, araba orada, ağaç burada, etc. Or you can combine ev ve araba orada. Now we don't have is or are, but we do have isn't and aren't, which is in Turkish değil. Değil. As you know, this one is almost mute. Değil is isn't or aren't. Isn't or aren't. Now a lot of people pronounce this as E as well in common speech. So you will hear this word most often in the form, in this form, değil. You can say değil, you can say değil. Saying değil is probably more correct, but a lot of people say değil, so get used to it. So if you want to say the house is there, but the car is not there, you do it this way. Ev orada ama araba orada değil. Ev orada ama araba orada değil. So as you see, the değil is at the end of the sentence. Until here, araba orada, it's the car is there, and then you add not. Okay, so it's at the end. It's a bit reversed. So if you want to say x is y, in Turkish you just say x, y, without the is. But if you say x isn't y, you say x, y, değil. Okay, so you add değil after the equation. So let's make a couple of examples. For example, the car and the house are here, but the tree isn't here. It's there. Okay? Let me write it. The house and the car are here, but the tree isn't here. It's there. Now the only word that we don't know is this, it, which in Turkish is just one letter. It's o. O is it. Okay. It's also he and she, by the way. So this is a second pronoun. Remember we learned ben, which is I, and now o, which is it, or he, or she, or even that. As Turkish is a simple language. Most of the time, many English words will only have one word, and there are some Turkish words that have, English words that have multiple Turkish counterparts, but usually Turkish is simpler. I like it though. Anyway, o is it. So let's say this sentence. The house and the car are here. We know that the doesn't exist and are doesn't exist. So house is ev. Let's write ev. And ve. Araba are, we don't say that, here. Burada. Sorry, burada. But, which is ama. The, we don't say this, tree, which is ağaç. Ağaç isn't, we have this. So, we have this, which is değil. But we're going to use it later. Because if you remember, x isn't y, x isn't y. In Turkish, x, y isn't. So, ağaç, first of all, this one, burada, değil. It's there. It is o, and we don't have is, so directly this one, orada. So, ev ve araba burada. Ama ağaç burada değil. O orada. That's about it. Let's learn a couple of more words and then I'll end the video. Let's learn the two animals. Three actually. Köpek. Köpek means dog. Köpek, dog. Kedi is cat. It kind of sounds the same though. Ked, cat, kedi, cat. So köpek ve kedi. The dog and the cat. Köpek ve kedi. The dog and the cat are here. Would be köpek ve kedi burada. If you want to say they're not here, you'll just add değil. Köpek ve kedi burada değil. They're not here. And one more word. Kuş. Kuş is a bird. Bird. Kuş is a bird. Kuş is a bird. So yeah, let's say the cat and the bird are there, but the dog isn't here. Or sorry, isn't there. That would make more sense. So the cat and the bird are there, but the dog isn't there. It's here. Okay? Let me write the English one so that we don't confuse. The cat and the bird are here, but the dog isn't here. Fine. I'm not sure if I said the same sentence before. Isn't here. It's there. Is it the same sentence here? Let's change these. There isn't there. It's here. Just to have an variety. So the, we don't say this. So cat and bird, there. We don't say this either. So kedi ve kuş. Kedi ve kuş orada. Ama köpek isn't there. Orada değil. It's here. O burada. O burada. Kedi ve kuş orada ama köpek orada değil. O burada. So that's about it for the third lesson. In the next lesson I'm thinking of teaching some more grammar, but for now it's important that you know these words because I'm going to use them in the next lesson. So see you then.